Welcome to 3 Lanes number 73. This episode is being recorded the weekend after, the Sunday of Windup SF. And I was able to attend to Windup on Saturday. Ideally, I always go Fridays because it's usually less crowded. You have more time and space to be checking all the brands. Saturday was crazy. There was way too many people. If you wanted to talk to any brand, it would have been like a 5 minute wait at least. For some, even more. I mean, nothing wrong with that, right? Like it's good for the brands because they get to get their money's worth. But today specifically, I want to talk about that because it was a thought that crossed my mind or dawned on me when I was walking around there. I didn't really want to wait to talk to anybody. I got to talk to a lot of people that I know from the industry, make new connections, uh, which is good. I saw the guys from Complecto there, Jason. I saw Marcus from Foremex. I saw also guys from the local watch group, 49 Crowns. Shout out. But also saw who else? Who else? Who else? Well, I saw Nick Mankey, but from afar, he couldn't talk. He was busy, man. That guy was busy. I made a new connection through Complecto with Aaron AC Cooper. He's a huge sneaker person. So if you know about sneakers, you probably know him. But yeah, he was looking into the whole watch industry situation there, and I think he has some projects going on. But I also saw the people from, who am I missing? I'm missing a bunch of people. I saw Christopher Ward. I saw the guys from Brew. A lot of people, right? But people that I noticed that missed were Fierce. Also, Fortis was not there, which I was surprised. They were huge the past 2 years, but this last year gone. And this is what makes me think, there's so many shows nowadays that is it something doable for brands to do all of them, right? And I started thinking there's so many things. Notice doesn't even show up to Wind Up anymore because they have their own thing, right? They have a Intersect, and Intersect is in LA, Austin, Charlotte, and New York, so they have four. So to go again to SF, it's it's a lot. And one thing is, okay, some of the people from LA, I know they came to SF, and shout out also to the LA group, the LH Watch Collective. But some of those guys came, but not everybody's gonna come. And I mean, there's some brands that some of those customers want to see, but they can't because the only event is here in SF. It's kind of the same with Intersect, right? There's some brands that are only going to Intersect, like Astor Banks. They only go to Intersect. It's a brand that I want to see, but they only go to LA. So if I want to go see them, I have to go to LA or Austin or Charlotte or New York, which is a trade-off. But at what point does it become for a brand um, something a good investment to go to a show, right? Because if you start spreading through all the shows, I don't know if they make money out of every show compared to what they spend, and that's not the only expense that they have. So if we take into consideration all the shows from the kind of like the top of my head, the big ones, Watches and Wonders. There was Chronopolis happening at the same time there, and I know the people from Orage were the people from Orage. I saw them on Thursday also, but they go to Watches and Wonders. Chronopolis is happening at the same time. Time to Watch is, I think, it's happening at the same time. There's three shows happening during the same days. It's if you're media, how do you cover all that? That's something that I was talking with Dave Sharp. If you know David Sharp, he's from the Scottish Watches podcast and also one of the heads in Orage. But there's the multiple wind-up shows: New York, SF, Chicago, Dallas. So at what point do you decide which one to go to? Do you rotate throughout the years? Like this year, I go to New York, next to SF. Somebody that I didn't see was Tipsim, right? The past 2 years, he's been here, I believe. A shout out to Matt, but yeah, it becomes such an expense that I don't know if it's possible to hit all of them. Next, collectives open house, depending on the brands they carry, you might want to do that one too, and it's in LA. Intersect, I don't know if there's gonna be an intersection between the brands that um, Intersect has with the collective brands, but it's another show, right? Dubai Watch Week. If you want to have an impact in that side of the world, you have to consider that. District Time is another one here in the U.S., which is in Washington D.C., if I'm not mistaken. We have the timepiece shows in Canada, Toronto, and Vancouver. But if you want to have a presence there, because not everybody from Canada is going to be able to come and see the watches here at these events. Some people might, but not everybody. I know that the watch industry is, quote unquote luxury, but not everybody has the budget to buy a Rolex every time, right? So a lot of people that are coming into the industry or coming into the market as customers, they don't have the same access as other people with different budgets. And when it comes to a brand, you have to consider all the costs that come to into consideration for them. Because yeah, you might whine about it as a customer, and I understand because you want to see them, but you have to think about the booth design and the build, if any, right? Some people just have not intricate materials. This trade shows are not the same as Watches and Wonders, but Watches and Wonders that you probably have to have a huge budget for that. For wind up, it's a table show. That's fine, but you still have to have some stuff on the table. You have to consider the travel, hotel, the logistics to bring the watches here, because a lot of times, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, at the wind up, when there was no watch brands selling watches, people complain. So now you have to consider, how am I going to take all this inventory there, and what you bring, is everything going to sell? How much am I going to have to take back? Staff time. This is critical. Do I hire somebody local, or do I take somebody from here? It's, if you hire somebody local, the representation for the brand is not going to be the same. So now the thing is, the shows are technically not mandatory. It's not like before, right? Before, you had retailer facing shows, order driven shows, and industry gatekeepers. So industry gatekeepers, it was, let's backtrack a little bit. Let's take one step back. The shows before, I think it was one huge thing, which was the big show in Switzerland, which the name escapes me right now, but it was whatever was before Watches and Wonders, which is before my serious time with looking into the watch industry. So I didn't pay too much attention to that, or trying to be there or anything like that. But that was an industry gatekeeper, because every name that was worth it was in it. And now think of it like a plate. So that somebody dropped that plate, and now you have big fragments and small fragments. So the shows are not mandatory, and you have to choose which one of those fragments, which one of those shows are you going to go to. And shows are spread out in different regions. So the geography of shows has increased. So now brands, they sell direct to the customer. They don't have to go through ADs Um, Media is basically decentralized because you have YouTube, Instagram, Substack. Anybody can put anything out there, and the launches of watches are not dependent of one show like before, which which before everything was centered around Basel World, right? So now that's not the case. We have Omega that doesn't even go to those shows, and they just release whenever they feel like it. Then the question now becomes, why spend, let's say, 50K on a booth when I can launch directly to the customer? So it becomes a trade-off of return of investment and what really makes sense for your brand. So tier one, we have visibility and prestige for these shows, which we can consider Watches and Wonders in Geneva to be the main thing, right? So it's expensive, but it signals to the customers that you're a legit and you made it kind of thing watch brand. Tier two, we can have something to build community and sales, and that's where the Windup Watch Fair comes in. That's when Intersect comes in, and all this medium-sized shows. So here you can have direct sales to customers and exposed to the enthusiast community, which is a big plus, right, for these medium brands. And then you have the small shows, the experimental or regional shows, which are smaller fairs, which I would consider the show in DC to be somehow kind of like that, and the Canadian shows almost like that, almost transitioning to wind up. I would say I had never been to one, so I'm just speculating over here. But a lot of times, not big brands, but a lot of brands would skip this unless they align to something they're chasing strategically. So shows are a marketing tool, marketing channel for brands, and we have to understand that. And like any marketing channel, they're gonna get saturated. There's gonna be a lot that are gonna come in, which is, I think, the case. It's happening now. The cost will increase for this, and I think that's why a lot of brands find it prohibitive for them to go, or they don't get the return of investment that they expect or that they want at the moment, so they're gonna skip it. So, what is the response of a brand in this instance? They are going to focus on one or two key events and target those specifically, according to whatever they're chasing, right? Whatever the strategy is at the moment. They're going to build own channels like email, content, community, and everything else is not going to matter. So, this is my thought, like I mentioned about the plate analogy. It's the trade show pie has been sliced, and I don't think it belongs to one person anymore, or one company, or one organization. Budgets and personnel have not multiplied for brands as the shows have. It's harder to attend all these shows, not because they don't care, but because the return of investment is not always there for the brand. And watch shows, as we have seen in multiple 4P analysis that I've made out here, uh, they're not competing just against other shows. They compete against Instagram drops, YouTube coverage, direct collector dinners, let's call it, or events, retail partnerships, owned events. So the 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 brands have to think, where am I going to put the money? Which one is going to give me better exposure for my customers, better return? Where am I going to be able to sell more? At the end of the day, as much as we love a brand, brands are still businesses, and they need to survive by selling watches. Hate it or love it. That's the thing. Now, the real decision is not which shows do we attend. It's, should we attend shows at all and either deploy the budget somewhere else, or keep attending one or two shows just to have visibility. That's something that's I've been thinking, and and it came up during this wind up, honestly, because I was there, and I don't think my love for watches has died, but I was not crazy about trying to try everything and trying to buy something there. I think what I appreciate more, it might sound cheesy, but it's the community, the people that I've met, either in brands or outside. It's That's what's valuable or most valuable. The brands, yes, I still love watches. I still like them. I still like talking about them. If not, I won't be recording this. But one of the things to that I was talking about with Jason from Complecto is that one of the things or the goals that might be better to go for is the dissemination of knowledge, because a lot of people don't understand what it takes to a brand to be alive, or to go to one of those shows. I posted some of the pictures that I took for the Aura show in Reddit, and one of the comments, not trying to burn this person, but one of the comments was, I like this brand, but I don't like him for $3,000. I like him for, I think they should be worth $700. A Horage for $700, I don't think that the brand will be able to survive. It might be at cost. I don't know. I don't know how much it costs to make a Horage watch, but have you seen everything they put in it? Have you seen all the effort? I don't know. I don't think if they sold watches at that price, they might be able to sell more, but I don't think, I don't know if it would be viable for them. Honestly, I cannot wrap my head around it. I don't think they would make enough money for them to have a business. That's my take on this. So, spreading the word, spreading the knowledge for people to understand what it takes for a watch to be made, for a brand to exist. I think that's good, and that's something that Aaron Cooper was talking about, like, the story behind it, the what's the story of the brand, that to try to unite the community instead of trying to separate it. I think that's a powerful message, but it goes hand in hand with spreading also knowledge for people to stay in the industry and understand what's valuable, what's good, not to make people feel bad for their choices of watches, because that's not the point. Everybody's different, everybody's going to have a different approach, different taste, and that's what makes this hobby so good. It's the same with sneakers, and I hope uh, Aaron or Jason from Complecto can do something about it too, right? Because the point is to unite everybody, and if we can unite everybody and bring everybody together with knowledge, I think that would be great. That's one of my goals also, and that's why I'm doing this, mainly obviously to share what I learn, and also all the content that I put out is free. I know it's kind of like practice for me to do all this, to not forget what I've learned in at school, but at the same time, if I can put something useful for people out there, that would be grateful. I mean, that would be great for me. I would be grateful if you learned something from it. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you, everybody, for your time, for listening. I will see you next time.